Is it visible, ma'am? My screen
Yes, yes, it is visible.
visible.
Yeah, it's working.
Can't hear you, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible, Shazia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. A very good morning to one and all present here. I'm Shazia Khan, Assistant Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Sant Hidaram Girls College, is here to present my views on the topic Sustainable Development Goal 11, titled Sustainable Cities and Communities. And the target which I'm going to discuss is solid waste management focusing plastic pollution, which is the accumulation of plastic objects and particles in the earth environment that adversely affects human, wildlife, and their habitats. As we all know that, more than half of the world population now lives in urban areas. By 2050, it is estimated that 6.5 billion cities, that is two-thirds of entire humanity. Due to rapid growth of cities in the developing world, coupled with increasing rural to urban migration, it has led to boom in megacities, and therefore in the municipal solid waste, commonly known as garbage, consisting of everyday items that are discarded by the public. Here is the graph which is projecting global waste produced worldwide by different regions, and we can see that the European, Central Asian, and East Asian countries are the major contributors of solid waste worldwide. And as of 2018 World Bank report, it states that the entire world generates over 2 billion tons of solid waste annually. And unfortunately, approximately 50% of the total waste is disposed improperly through open incineration or landfilling, contributing to environmental pollution and public health risks. Municipal solid waste usually consists of three different kinds of waste. One is the biodegradable waste, which can be easily degraded by composting, for example, food and kitchen waste products. Next one is the recyclable waste, which can be recycled easily into secondary materials like glass, jar, aluminum, clothing, which is the plastic. Plastic was invented in the year 1907, and given that it was cheaper and more convenient than other materials, it soon found use in various ways in our daily lives into different applications. Since its invention, we can see that there is a drastic increment in the plastic production rate. In 1950, 1.5 million metric tons plastic was produced, now which has reached to 367 million metric tons in the year 2020. We can see that the Asian countries like Japan and China are the major producers of plastic worldwide, and they are the major suppliers of plastic to the entire world. Plastic into different forms like high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene, polystyrene, polypropylene is used worldwide in different kind of applications. And we can see that India uses 42% of plastic in packaging industries. That is, most of the plastic is used, which is low density polyethylene. Various manufacturing industries across the globe produce 400 million tons of plastic waste per year, with the packaging industry being the largest contributor. However, due to lack of sustainable plastic waste management processes, it possesses a serious threat to our environment and natural ecosystem globally. And data indicates that while a large quantum of plastic waste is generated, low levels of it are sustainably managed and discarded worldwide. Due to proper disposable strategies made in plastics worldwide, it can be seen that only 9% of world's plastic is recycled, 12% is incinerated, dumped into a severe ecological substantial emission of greenhouse gases and production used in the synthesis of plastics is hazardous and contains pathogenic for the human system and are responsible for various genetic disorders and endocrine system damage. Talking about the environmental damage, this municipal solid waste, specifically plastic, is causing So we can see that the India's capital, that is Delhi, has three different kind of landfills at Ogla, Valsava, and Gazipur, which are collectively responsible for environmental damage worth rupees um, worth 4.5 billion as per 2018 case study by National Environmental Engineering Research Institute and CPCB and IIT Delhi. As per UN Environmental Program report on marine plastic, it is estimated that land-based resources contribute 80% to the 11 million tons of plastic which is entering the oceans annually, and this is hampering, causing various problems to the organisms living in the ocean, and it is going to cost the world around $3,300 to $33,000 per ton per year in terms of reduced natural capital in affected ecosystem. The plastic at landfills, talking about the terrestrial ecosystems, are eaten by the animals living on Earth, disrupting their digestive system, resulting in death of millions of animals. What if we are going to burn this plastic? If we are going to burn this plastic and try to produce energy, talking about India, it's a big failure because the energy which we are gaining from the burning of plastic is of low calorific value. And secondly, it is very expensive. If we are generating from the burning of plastic, it costs approximately rupees 7 per kilo, which costs approximately 3 to 4 rupees per kilowatts. And lastly, if we are going to burn a mixture of different kind of plastic, it is going to again pollute our environment, and this fly ash is going to enter into human bodies and cause various disruptive disorders or genetic disorders. Burning plastic waste and burning are both expensive. Recycling plastic may prove to be a better solution than either. Recycling or reprocessing involves just converting our plastic material into secondary material, but most plastic is never recycled in true sense of the word. Most of the recycling in India is through the informal sector, which has invested its own money and run small plants. Crude recycling by the informal sector not only releases hazardous emission but also causes a lot of plastic leakage. Since the sector is informal, most plants cannot afford to clean dirty plastic. So materials contaminated with the wet plastics are dumped into drains or at roadsides, ultimately killing life on Earth. Low density polythene, which is a single-use polythene or is a single-use plastic, is the biggest pollutant problem on the Earth, and it is mainly because they are very easy to access and they are of high use. Polythene alone contributes about 64% waste and is considered as the biggest danger which is affecting terrestrial ecosystems such as desert, forest, grassland, forest. Single-use plastic is believed to take thousands of years to decompose, which leads to soil and water contamination and can pose hazards for land, water, and wildlife. Talking about the health and the social impact of single-use plastic, if we see, if we are going to burn the single-use plastic and in countries using for teaching purposes, causing health issues in vulnerable groups such as women, children, and elderly. Moreover, the plastic littering is visually unattractive and has potential to impact GDP of countries dependent on tourism. The plastic pollution in oceans has economic impact across tourism, shipping, and plastic. According to US Environmental Protection Agency, all the plastic waste ever generated is still present on Earth today. This makes sustainable management of plastic waste important. What measures we can take to reduce plastic pollution on Earth? Currently, if we talk about the circular economy, it usually involves reusing, repairing, remanufacturing, or recycling plastics. In India, to support the circular economic concept, emphasis has been laid on Waste Management Act 2016, which focuses on recycling resources. This includes recycling Apart from it, we can start door to door, which India is already tracking action of roads, and this in turn also improve wages for the waste breakers. Apart from this, we can ban the use of single-use plastic in organization, companies, and institutions like in our college, Santa Girls College. We have imposed a ban on use of single-use plastic. Apart from this, we can create mass awareness behavior change campaigns. We need to educate people through various initiatives. For example, Philippines has started an initiative collect single-use plastic and deposits them to the nearby shops where they get return cash incentives based on per kilogram of properly deposited waste products. This enables source segregation and community recycling of single-use plastic, diverting it from landfills and water bodies. Apart from this, as we know that there is a huge plastic, or we can say single-use plastic collected over the entire environment, and we are not having a method which can easily and eco-friendly manner can remove the plastic. So bioremediation can be used, which is an eco-friendly and economic method of plastic waste degradation, and is a useful strategy for the control of plastic pollution on land and in water bodies. The microbes which lives in the vicinity of plastic waste adapts and grows on the surface of plastic as biofilm. They produce catalytic enzymes which can degrade the plastic naturally. So isolation and identification of biodegradation ability of microorganisms is of utmost importance if we are talking about to control the plastic. I would like to conclude that we need to reduce and reuse the plastic materials and are required to search natural engineers, that is microbial waste, to reduce the load of municipal solid waste generated worldwide, to make the development of humans sustainable for all life forms on Earth. Thank you so much. That's all from my side. I'm thankful to Witty Gossip Association for giving me opportunity to be a part of Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2020. And I'm thankful to my management and principal ma'am for giving me this platform and this opportunity to present my data over. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Shazia
so
ma'am,
much,
for
Shazia
joining
ma'am.
us. Yeah. Could you please stop sharing, ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for sharing. फोन लेंगे
Shazia ma'am, is there any issue to stop sharing? Okay. I would like to request technical team, please remove Shazia ma'am for the co-host. Okay. Gunjan ma'am, is this my screen is visible?
No, ma'am. Now it's okay. Yeah.
I'm
Your
visible.
screen is visible
Okay,
now.
visible. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So again, I would like to request technical team, please make co-host Shazia ma'am. Okay. So Shazia ma'am, I am giving you a spotlight for this for the signature style. Yes. So ma'am, actually your network bandwidth is very low. So maybe the photo is quite small. Yeah. Yeah ma'am, please do this again. Yes. Thank you Shazia ma'am. Thank you for joining us ma'am. Thank you. Okay. So Dr. Gunjan Shukla, can we proceed?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Shazia ma'am. So this was Shazia ma'am from Santidaram Girls College for Goal 11. She was talking and she expressed her wonderful views regarding plastic management. So thanks for sharing all your wonderful inputs. Moving ahead with the program, ladies and gentlemen, I would again like to welcome you all on behalf of Witty Gossip and on behalf of the team of Oriental University and on behalf of core team and on behalf of all the audience also. We have wonderful speakers today for goal 12, that is responsible consumption and production. In the same sequence, now I would like to call the guest of honor for today for goal 12, Mr. Manish Rajuria sir, sorry. Mr. Manish Rajuria sir is chairperson from Career College Bhopal and would like to say that sir is practicing sustainable development in his day-to-day life. So would like to call sir now. Sir, stage is all yours. Please share your experiences and enlighten us. Over to sir.
Good morning, everyone. Very delighted to be in this program, which has been organized by Witty Gossip. I think this is a subject which is very close to my heart. And I think this needs to be very, very important for each one of us. So we are all citizens of this world. We are staying here on this planet for a very limited time. And each person on this planet, each living animal or any plant, everyone has the equal share for this wonderful planet and the only planet where we have. So what is happening today is that the whole problem of the environment is because of our consumption. If we go to a tribal area, we see these very innocent, simple people, and their consumption is really negligible. Whereas if we go to a developed nation, then we realize that it is basically the more affluent who are consuming multiple times. So we all have refrigerators, air conditioners, air-conditioned cars, big houses. Each house has multiple toilets. So our consumption level is very high. We all talk about a lot of things that we can do, like planting trees. A tree takes about 15 to 20 years to grow. So that's not a solution. By the time the tree grows, we are here chopping more trees than what we've had in the past. So the only solution that comes to my mind, or rather is the only solution, that each one of us reduces our carbon footprint. And how do we reduce our carbon footprint? It is very simple, that we just need to consume less. So we have a registered trademark called Use Less, where we urge and we request and we talk about reducing your consumption so that there's less carbon emission. It's very easy to say, let's have more solar, let's have more wind power. But the idea is, why don't we reduce our own consumption of electricity or biofuels? So that is something which each person on this planet can do. During the pandemic, we realized that everybody was sitting home and the air got cleaner. The rivers got clean. So why do we have to spend millions and billions of dollars in cleaning our water bodies? Why don't we just stop dirtying them? A river flows and it's pure water coming from the source. And during the journey of the river, it is us who is polluting it. And all that is coming just because of one simple thing: our consumption is very high. Segregating waste is another very important thing, which I think a lot of countries, in fact, most of the cities in our country, India, has also realized the importance. And our Prime Minister has had started this mission of Swachh Bharat, which has done a very miraculous work. At least everybody is aware that we need to segregate our garbage and ensure there's proper recycling of the waste that we produce. So coming back to what everybody is trying to do, we have goals for 2030. We have goals for 2050, so that we reduce our carbon footprint. All governments are trying to talk about electrical vehicles, about solar energy, hydro energy, wind power, but that will not help unless we reduce our consumption. Very simple steps, like if each educational institution, because this is a program with a lot of educationists, if each educational institution propagates the habit of just sharing their old books with the next year students. I used to study in one of the leading public schools of the country, Scindia School. A lot of people from very affluent families were there. But that was a school where we were all asked to deposit our books, which we've used in the past, and they would be given to the next students. And during the beginning of the term, we were told to please not to scribble on the books and keep them in a very, very proper way so that they can be used for a few more years. If a school like Scindia School realizes this, it is not that they were unable to afford or they wanted to cut down the expenditure, but it was, I think, the intention of simply caring for the environment. And this I'm talking about 30 years back. So the awareness level, what was there in that school 30 years back, needs to go to every government school, every private school, every college, where we can at least understand the value of saving paper, because paper is directly coming from the forest. And the forest that the paper mills plant are very homogeneous forest. So they would just plant one variety of tree or maybe two varieties of tree. So that's not what a forest has to be. The forest is a forest where multiple species of trees are there, multiple birds come, and then the wildlife flourishes. So that is only possible if we stop, if we reduce chopping trees and play a role. So I request everyone to just take a pledge to do one simple thing in their lives, is to consume less. So use less is the motive of each and every person. And I think with little effort of each one of us, we'll be able to have a very, very big impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. And actually, it's our privilege, and we are very honored to have you in this global platform. So today we are discussing on Sustainable Development Goal 12 in the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2022. And the actually the association with the career group of institution is really remarkable, just because of your support, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for joining us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for initiating such a relevant conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, would you? Yes, thank you, sir. Sir, please do this. Some upside, sir. Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Yes. So, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, please proceed further, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, once again. And I completely believe and I agree with you that, when it comes to consumption, being customer, it's our prime responsibility to, sometimes we should refuse to, go for the wastage, and we should always rethink, recycle, reuse. Because completely agree that, when we are saving pages and when we are, reusing things. When we are reusing stuff, we are saving forest, we are saving our natural resources. So completely agree with all the points given by sir. In the same sequence, with our knowledge partner for today, Career Group of Institution, now I am again honored to call the guest speaker, Dr. Suparna Ghosh, Dean Life Sciences, Head of the Department Chemistry, Career College, Bhopal. Over to you, ma'am.
Very good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I would like to give my heartfelt thanks to RFI, VT Gossip, and all the other associate partners for giving me this opportunity. Without taking much more time, I would like to go with my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
visible.
Please make a slideshow, ma'am. Yes, yes. Perfectly all right.
Sustainable consumption and production. It is my topic and urge. First of all, my question is, what is sustainable consumption and production? So answer is, all we need for sustainable development is sustainable consumption and production. So next question is, what is sustainable development? Sustainable development can be defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development always encourage us to conserve and enhance our resources. It gives us balanced and improved quality of life, prosperous society, healthy environment, food, resources, safe drinking water, and clean air for all. There are three pillars of sustainable development: society, environment, and economy, and they are interconnected with each other. They are not separated. Some examples of sustainable development are wind energy, solar energy. They produce energy in safe and environmentally sustainable manner. Crop rotation. Crop rotation reduces the risk and enhances soil ability and ecological sustainability. Sustainable construction is also very much important now because they use recyclable and renewable materials and minimize the energy consumption and waste production. Water efficient appliances. We all know about the importance of water, and we should save water. Now we have many water efficient appliances like waterless urinals, dual flush toilets, low flow showers and taps. So we should go for these appliances. Green spaces. Green spaces will give sustainable city with better environment for all of us. Sustainable forestry. Sustainable forestry is about caring and managing forests to provide the natural resources. Our present lifestyle and industrial revolution cause serious effects on our life and environment. Therefore, sustainable development is the most urgent need of the current scenario. Sustainable development promotes the kind of developments that minimize all kind of environmental problems. Now, how to achieve sustainable development? The goal of sustainable development, according to me, can't be achieved if we don't think about sustainable consumption and sustainable production, that is SCP. Without proper implementation of the concept of SCP, we cannot achieve the targets of sustainable development. Sustainable consumption and production is about doing more and better with less. And we really need to learn this. SCP is an attempt to increase resource efficiency and to promote sustainable lifestyle for all. At present, it is true that we are consuming more resources than the planet's capacity for generation. SCP minimizes the use of natural resources and toxic material as well as the emission of waste and pollutants to save the needs of future generation. SAP increases the sustainable management of resources and achieve resource efficiency. And it also contributes to provide to eradicate the poverty of this world. For developing country, SAP offers several opportunities such as creation of new and decent green job markets as well as more efficient natural resource management. I think if we really want to save our world, we must change our perception about development. Yes, development is required for our growth, but not at the cost of our Mother Earth. So we have to adopt the concept of sustainable production for our future developments. Some steps for sustainable productions are production of green fuel or biofuel. Green fuel or biofuels are derived from a mixture of half of kerosene and other half derivatives of esters and higher fatty acids. They can also be derived from used cooking oils, some plants like camelina plant, and these biofuels are able to cut 30% of greenhouse gases, which is the most serious problem for environment. Sustainable packaging. We all know that plastic and styrofoam packagings are very easy and we can see them all over, but they are neither biodegradable nor recyclable. Recent report confirms that packaging contribute to 77.9 tons of municipal solid waste per year. So in place of disposable, we can use biodegradable materials for packaging because they reduce the use of natural resources, provides cleaner water bodies, and they are much more energy efficient also. Like bioplastics can be derived from the fermentation of vegetable starch and it is biodegradable, so we can go for bioplastics instead of local available plastics. Green chemistry, a beautiful concept developed by Paul and Estes. It is a new era of eco-sustainability and it reduces the energy cost. It provides environmentally friendly raw materials. Recently, Brazil produced green polythene derived from bioethanol. Now, leading companies of the world are investing in this green technology. Discovery of biodegradable plastics, biobricks, biofuels, glass wool, wood fiber, nanomaterials, etc. are the major contribution of green chemistry, and it really it is able to green chemistry can change the lifestyle of many people in this world. Green recycling. Plastic items can be undergone green recycling for the production of industrial items because we know that plastic is a big cause of pollution in today's world. More than 90% of plastic waste are discarded in the landfills and oceans every year. These are some examples of sustainable production of plastics through proper recycling. Nowadays, 14 leading companies are manufacturing biodegradable shoes. They use plastic bottles to make their shoes. If we can collect plastic waste in proper way, then with the proper chain of recycling process, we can produce sustainable plastic products with the help of used plastics. So we should go for the proper collection of plastic waste for the proper recycling. Green recycling, e-waste. E-waste is also a big hazard for us. E-waste recycling is a part of green recycling. Improper disposal of e-waste and burning of e-waste causes serious air and soil pollution. Globally, about 50 million metric tons of e-waste are disposed of each year. But many of these devices are not waste at all. They can be recycled for reuse. But Unfortunately, only 20% of global e-waste is recycled. Specialist recyclers can recover cadmium, steel, nickel, and cobalt-like important metals from the scrap batteries for reuse in new batteries. The high-grade metals like gold, silver, copper, and palladium can be safely separated from e-waste. On a positive note, in 2020 Tokyo Olympics, medals were made of 50,000 tons of e-waste. It is a very good example for all of us. These are some examples of sustainable products made from the e-waste. And I am very much sure that green products are easier to recycle, reuse, and hence helping to reduce the cost of waste management. Now, sustainable consumption, a big challenge for all of us. All talk about sustainable production and development will go into drain if we don't understand the importance and requirements of sustainable consumption. And the major issue is food waste. Food waste reflects the inadequate use of natural resources. The world produces enough food to nourish everyone. But before consumption, nearly 1/3 of all food produced each year is spoiled. It is very unfortunate. Wasted food ultimately goes to the landfill, it rots and emits greenhouse gases that damage our environment. The major cause of food waste in developing countries are poor transportation, inefficient processing, poor storage, and improper harvesting practices. But not only developing countries, developed countries also are responsible for the wastage of food. In the United States, 30% of all food is thrown away each year. UK wastes an estimated 6.7 million tons of food every year. China wastes 50 million tons of grain annually, and according to the Food Corporation of India, about 23 million tons of food cereals, 12 million tons of fruits, and 21 million tons of vegetables are lost each year. And it cost around, I think, 240 billion rupees, and it is a big loss for all of us. So for sustainable consumption, we need strategic plan and policies that are required to combat food waste. We should raise awareness for the general public about the wastage of food, discussion on food waste in school communities. We should support projects and associations that work on fighting food waste. We should help farmers in selling their non-standardized product to support sustainable consumption. We should promote local consumption and establish direct relation between producer and final consumer. This step is very important because it will really helpful to reduce the food waste. Just think, before wasting food, we must remember that a child dies from hunger in every 10 seconds in our world, and it is really shameful for us. Now, sustainable consumption of water. A total of 748 million people still do not have access to safe drinking water. Isn't it a serious issue for us? Agriculture, domestic sector, industries are the main consumers of water. We should improve water quality and wastewater management for the safety of water. It is really the need of this hour. So we should go for the sustainable safeness of water, and with the proper handling and with proper knowledge, we can really save water. We all know about different tips to conserve water. Nothing is new about this. Nothing is new about this slide, but it is time for action. We should adopt these tips. Remember, every drop counts. sustainable consumption of goods. Nowadays, really, we buy unnecessary things. We are doing nothing, just creating lots of stuffs around us and creating pollution. So we should encourage consumers to use goods for a longer time. We should promote repairing of defecting goods. We should aware people about the negative impact of the unsustainable consumption on the global environment and climate. And remember, don't buy too much. Only buy that you really need. So it is my request that buy better, buy green, and use it for longer time for the sustainable consumption, to promote sustainable consumption and for the safety of our environment. These are some steps of sustainable consumption. So sustainable consumption and production is a cyclic process. And without sustainable consumption and production, we can't think about sustainable development. We need development. So we should adopt the culture of sustainable consumption and production. We need to aware everyone. Thus, it is an urge to consume sustainable product for sustainable development and a better future for coming generation. Thank you.
Great presentation, ma'am. Even I would like to add on here that being consumers, we should work upon our habits also, because as we all will change our habits of using more, sustainable products and organic products or green lifestyle, if we will become used to for. So I think the overall trend is going to change and the production scenario is also going to change. I hope you agree with my point, because as far as the demand will change, the type of products will be demanded in the market, the production will automatically change according to it. And equally, the process of production plays important role, where wastage can be reduced, the procurement, the supply chain, everything matters a lot. I completely agree with your point. So it was great presentation by you. I request Dr. Supriya ma'am to click a snapshot for Dr. Suparna Ghosh.
Yes. Dear madam, could you please? Yes. Okay, I'm giving you a spotlight, ma'am. Just hold on. Okay. Yes,
it was
ma'am.
great to have you with us, ma'am. Thank you so much for your inputs. Moving ahead with the program, for the next speaker, I would like to call upon Miss Laura from Romania. So, ma'am, stage is all yours now. Please express your thoughts on Goal 12 for today.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Laura Stanciu from Romania. And first of all, I wish to thank Witigasi for this wonderful opportunity and for organizing such a great event. So please allow me to share my presentation. Let me know if the slides are visible and if they are moving.
Yes, dear.
Thank you so much. So responsible consumption and production. We all know about Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, which were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, provide access to education for all children, provide equal rights for all, to end discrimination, and to ensure that by 2030, all people will enjoy peace and prosperity. And I wish to give you my point of view as an educator. And I believe that school provides the framework in which a complex process of training the students is carried out from an instructive point of view, but also from an educational point of view. We need to educate our students and to train them to become the citizens of tomorrow. And environmental education aims to raise awareness of the problems of the planet is facing, to form positive attitudes and to encourage actions that support environmental protection, as well as to improve the quality of life by promoting a sustainable lifestyle. The Sustainable Development Goals depend upon each other. They are interrelated. We cannot have quality education without first ending poverty, without ensuring that the children we are educating don't suffer from hunger, that they enjoy a good health and well-being. And of course, without responsible consumption and production, we cannot have hope for living in a clean and safe environment and protect the life below water or the life on land. These are the targets of SDG 12. And they state that we need to implement sustainable consumption and production framework. We need sustainable management and use of natural resources. We need to halve global per capita food waste. We need to stop food waste. We need a responsible management of chemicals and waste, and we need to substantially reduce waste generation. We need to promote universal understanding of sustainable lifestyle, because only if we do this together as a community, we can achieve good results and we can hope to protect the planet. Sustainable Development Goal 12 deals with ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. It promotes increased human well-being while separating economic growth from resource use and environmental degradation. Worldwide consumption and production, a driving force of the global economy, rest on the use of the natural environment and the resources in a way that continues to have destructive impacts on the planet. Economic and social progress over the last century has been accompanied by environmental degradation that is endangering the very systems on which our future depends. Indeed, our very survival depends. If current consumption and production patterns continue, the planet will need 183 billion tons of material every year by 2050. This is 3 times today's amount and impossible to sustain. We need to reduce our global material footprint. There are many aspects of consumption that with simple changes can have a big impact on society as a whole. For example, the global material footprint, an indicator of the pressure put on the environment to support economic growth and to satisfy the material needs of people, grew by 17.4% to 85.9 billion metric tons in 2017 as compared to 2010. Every year, 4.8 to 12.7 million tons of plastic are dumped into our oceans, and over 40 million tons of electric waste are generated, increasing annually by 4 to 5%, causing severe damage to ecosystems, livelihoods, and our health. Most of this pollution comes from uncollected and mismanaged plastic waste, particularly from developing economies. These plastics and the many chemicals they contain have impact on human and marine health, human livelihoods, important economic sectors such as fishing and tourism, climate change, and the potential achievement of a number of SDGs. Cleaning up the pollution that exists is important, but it is even more vital to drastically reduce the amount of plastic going into the oceans by improving waste collection and management, increasing reuse and recycling, and redesigning products and using alternative materials and business models. I've recently heard that each of us has in our bodies microplastics. So the microplastics are so widespread everywhere that they have become part of our bodies. They are in our lungs and in our system. And so this is getting more and more serious, especially for future generations. Between 5 and 14 million metric tons of plastic trash flow into the oceans from land every year. This is enough coffee cups, cake forks, contact lenses, foam food containers, beverage bottles, bags, and other plastic waste to cover every inch of coastline from the Arctic to Antarctica every year. It is the same as dumping one garbage truck load of plastic into the ocean every minute. The tens of hundreds of thousands of metric tons of plastic waste floating in the so-called giant, a Great Pacific Garbage Patch, So an island made only of plastic contain just a tiny fraction of the plastics estimated to be in the oceans, many of which are microplastic below the ocean surface. Indeed, some use terms such as plastic soup and plastic smog to describe the ocean's conditions. Except for the 12% of plastic that has been incinerated, which usually uses fossil fuels and emits noxious gases, every bit of plastic that has been made still exists. Plastic pollutes the entire water column from the seafloor to the surface and is in every ocean and sea, including remote areas far from human habitation, and it is even embedded in Arctic sea ice. We need to admit to ourselves that there is no such place as a way that plastic waste or another type of pollution goes. Pollution is the largest environmental cause of disease and premature death globally, responsible for an estimated 9 million premature deaths in 2015. 16% of all deaths worldwide, and 3 times more death than AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria combined. Another type of waste that really affects our health and the health of our planet is food waste. 1/3 of food produced every year is wasted, yet food security is a growing concern. There are 2 main kinds of wasted food: food loss and food waste. Food loss is the bigger category and incorporates any edible food that goes uneaten at any stage. In addition to food that's uneaten in homes and stores, this includes crops left in the field, food that spoils in transportation, and all other food that doesn't make it to a store. Some amount of food is lost at nearly every stage of food production. Food waste is a specific piece of food loss, which is also defined as food discarded by retailers due to color or appearance, and plate waste by consumers, the food that we don't eat. Food waste includes the half-eaten meal left on the plate at a restaurant, food scraps from preparing a meal at home, and the sour milk a family pours down the drain. Meanwhile, children in other countries go hungry. What can each of us do? We always need to think about reducing, reusing, and recycling, and rethinking everything that we do. There are 2 main ways to help. First of all, we need to reduce our waste and consume less, and be thoughtful about what you buy and choosing a sustainable option whenever possible. Ensure you don't throw away food and reduce your consumption of plastic, one of the main pollutants of the ocean. Carrying a reusable bag, refusing to use plastic straws, and recycling plastic bottles are good ways to do your part every day. Making informed purchases also helps. For example, the textile industry today is the 2nd largest polluter of clean water after agriculture, and many fashion companies exploit textile workers in the developing world. If you can buy from sustainable and local sources, you can make a difference, as well as exercising pressure on businesses to adopt sustainable practices. What can educators do to help with the accomplishment of SDGs? As educators, we must set an example, and we must inspire young minds. We must teach our students, our children, our community, and we must try to reach as many people as possible in order to work together for the benefit of the earth. It is our duty to do our part and to empower others to make a change. Fighting for the accomplishment of SDGs should become a main objective in schools and all learning environments. Educators need to shape the minds of the young generations, teach them the meaning and the importance of SDGs for our world and for each community. Those who are now our students represent the future of our society, and what will happen to our world is in their hands. This is how our school involved students in recycling, reusing, and rethinking their way of life. We made drawings to show how important it is to save the planet. We made different objects using recycled materials or objects that we couldn't use anymore, for example, CDs. They made drawings, they made poems that we published, and we had awareness campaigns. We had class presentations. We had play in which the students played to show the school how important it is to recycle and how garbage and pollution affects our planet. We recycled e-waste and took it to the collection center. We planted trees and we had donations to help people in need. We believe that no voice is too small and no action is in vain. Every action counts, and if you do something, it means that that day wasn't wasted. You did something to help the environment, something to help the planet. We need to motivate, we need to inspire, and we need to empower. So whenever you purchase something, whenever you feel like buying something we don't need, remember that we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. So rethink your way of living and move towards a sustainable way of life. Only together we can achieve this. Together we can change the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. She was Laura from Romania, and wonderful points raised by you. And I would like to mention here that new education policy in India has introduced a module on sustainable development goal to be taught to students in higher education. And here also so many other schools have taken initiative. Yesterday we have lot many students from very small town, and they are so aware, and they were trying to spread awareness on the same what we are discussing since last 12 days. So I'm really, I feel honored to be part of this program. Every time I'm thankful. I thank God that I got this opportunity to, listen to everyone and somewhere to contribute as well in the part of awareness to others. So I request Dr. Supriya ma'am to take a picture for Laura. And thank you so much, Laura, again, for wonderful
Laura,
inputs.
yes. Some outside. Laura, please do outside. Yes. Thank you, dear.
Very
Thank
rightly
you
she
very
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
joining us.
Every
Thank you.
action
And
counts. That's
yes,
really true. And we should rethink whenever we are going to buy something, because where we lack is during making decision while purchasing. We don't rethink. So rethink is really important. Thank you so much again. In the same sequence, now I would like to call another speaker from our knowledge partner of today's goal, Career College, Career Group of Institution, Principal Dr. Chiranjeet Kaur ma'am. Dear ma'am, stage is all yours now. Please enlighten us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Very warm and gracious welcome to all. Congratulations to organizers, Witty Gossip Group, RFI, and others providing this international platform to Career College Bhopal. This institution was established in the year 1970 and a flagship institution of the state of MP. It is A+ accredited by NAC Bangalore. I will be discussing about plastic waste management, our greatest challenge of the century. Plastic is said to be a wonderful gift of this era. May that be household items, may that be medical equipment or industrial requirements. Plastic is the best choice, but its physiochemical composition and after-use disposal has created havoc globally. You'll be surprised to know that more waste plastic is created annually than manufactured, as all old stock is already there. You all agree with me with the fact that we are because the planet Earth is there, not vice versa. So we have to preserve and conserve this beautiful green, clean planet for our progeny. Let's discuss it. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
yes, ma'am.
visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is sustainable management of plastic pollution. So I will be talking about plastic pollution. My previous colleagues have already spoken about the plastic pollution, and I will be just go through what I have made. I have changed my slides also. We know that the plastic created is dumping up, and it has created havoc in the global scenario. So these are the different methods, which are scientific methods used for the plastic management. They are recycling, pyrolysis, incineration, bioremediation, and landfilling. Recycling involves the number of steps which are shown over here, and this generates the secondary raw material as well as the fuel of secondary grade. Incineration, we all know that it is the complete combustion, and it results in the formation of carbon dioxide and water, which is also used as fuel. But the negative point is this adds to the greenhouse gases, about which I will be discussing later. Landfills, of course, this is the best way because our planet Earth is self-sustaining. If we leave our planet Earth for a millennium or two, then it will clear up all the waste dumped on it. But unfortunately, that is not happening. We are continuously adding waste on it. So though the initial cost per landfill is not much because we have to only dig the hole, this will result in the formation of number of useful products also. Another thing is pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is the heating in the absence of air, and this takes place at 3 different temperature ranges depending on the type of plastic to be managed. And this results in the formation of bio-oil, bio-tar, and syngas. Bio-oil, we know it is the fuel. Bio-tar is when dumped into the soil or mixed with the soil, then it adds to the fertility of the soil, and syngas is a very good fuel gas. It is also known as the water gas. This is bioremediation, which takes place with the help of the microorganisms. The initial cost of establishing the plant is very, very high. So we have to think twice before going into it. Now we were discussing about the volatile products, toxic products, which are evolved into the atmosphere, how it is going to harm the atmosphere. First of all, it will raise the temperature because greenhouse gases do not allow the heat to pass through the land. So it results in the melting of the snow, and that will result in the rising of the sea level, and some of the low-lying areas will get submerged, and we will have the warmer ocean. And because of the carbon dioxide that dissolves in the sea water.
Dear Dr. Charanjit Kaur, sorry to interrupt you. Ma'am, actually your slides are not moving.
You are not seeing the global warming slide just now?
Yes, ma'am, not seeing.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll do it again. Is it visible now?
Ma'am, you have started just sharing. Yes, ma'am, please make a slideshow.
Slideshow से ऊपर नहीं जाना है क्योंकि from here I had started. Now is it visible?
Ma'am, your first slide is visible. If there is a problem with the slideshow, ma'am, you can click on a whatever slide you want to explain, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. Shall I share the screen for you?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, please remove your slide. I will share the slide for you. Yes, ma'am. You can proceed now.
Please go to the second slide. Suparna madam, please go to the next slide. Only first slide is visible, madam, here.
It is still not moving, ma'am. Just give me a few minutes.
Suparna madam, let me try once again. Do you want to continue? Yes. Slideshow slideshow. Can you see the second slide, madam?
No, ma'am, not
No,
now.
ma'am, we cannot.
Ma'am, first on a list of slide. Okay. Please click on a slide 4 or a 5, ma'am.
Ma'am, select slide 2. It will work. Go to slide 2.
Okay.
Or 3 or any other.
Ma'am, just click on that particular slide.
स्टॉप करिए अब आप शेयर करिए अब कौन सी स्लाइड है ये है ना इसको ओपन करिए
पहले शेयर करना है पहले
क्लिक कर दीजिए
इस पे
आप शेयर करिए तो ये सेकंड नंबर पे क्लिक करिए अब दिख रहा है क्या ना
Yes.
Second slide is visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is visible.
Yes.
So these are the 5 methods which are adopted for the waste management, and my previous speakers have already discussed about it. So I'll directly move to the microplastics. Okay. So I was talking about the global warming, that how the temperature increase is going to melt the ice, and that will increase the sea level, and some of the low-lying areas will also get submerged. There will be warmer oceans, and that is going to affect the aquatic life, marine life. And because of the dissolution of carbon dioxide in the water, it will be acidic in nature. That will result in damaged corals and the bleaching of the corals also. And I will show in the next slide, because of the high temperature, there will be more heat waves, more droughts, then wildfires will be there, stronger storms will be there, and changing rain and weather patterns will be there, and that will result in the animal migration and the change in the life cycles of the animals and the birds. This is the beautiful coral we can see in the marine, but because of the global warming, they have been bleached and there's no color now. And the severity of the problem can be found out from this. On January 18, 2022, Indonesia passed a bill to relocate its capital from Jakarta to Nusantara, as Jakarta is sinking at the rate of 25 centimeters a year. Challenge is microplastic. When we drink water from a plastic bottle, or we carry our food items in the plastic packaging, then microplastic enters into our body. And it has been seen that studies have shown that people eat and breathe at least 50,000 particles of microplastic in a year. The pathway by which the microplastic enters into the surface water is, first of all, the production. This is the data of 2015. 270 million tons is produced every year, and the waste created is 275 million, as the waste is already there for the past so many years. And out of this, coastal plastic water contains 99.5 million tons, and out of that, mismanaged is 1/3 of it, and that passes into the oceans and the surface waters. So severity we can find out. Microplastic pollution has also been studied by the scientists from the University of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and have found that microplastic is there in the bloodstream. They have studied the 22 healthy people, and out of 22, 17 were found to have the microplastic in their blood. And once the plastic enters into the blood, then it goes to all the vital organs, may that be brain, spleen, liver, or any part of the body. And that leads to the brain cancers, infertility, inflammation, cancer, etc. The National University of Singapore has researched on 275 pieces of microplastic and found that they are not alone, but they are having number of pathogens like bacteria. 400 varieties have been isolated, and some of them are very, very toxic to the human beings. Along with these pathogens, there may be detergents and sewage pathogens also, which is very, very harmful for the living beings. If we discuss about the contaminants which are present in the because of the plastic inhalation and eating, then we find that there are chemical ingredients, there are chemical byproducts, there are soft contaminants. Out of these, we have metals, nickel, and lead, and number of organic compounds which are there in the plastic. So they will also be there as the contaminants, and most of them are organic. Phthalates are there, polybromo diphenyl ethers are there, bisphenol A is there, then polychlorobiphenyls are there, styrenes are there, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are there. So severity we can know, and what is the evidence that we have in our body, or the living beings are having in their body, the microplastic. This is the method developed by Karami et al. In 2017. This takes 42 to 72 hours. We have another method discovered by other scientists, and that is step 1. Here we are digesting the animal liquid with 10% of KOH, and it is incubated at 40 degrees Celsius for 42 to 72 hours. Then it is filtered by the filter membrane, and then it is transferred, the filter member, whatever is having the residue, that was digested with NaI solution. NaI solution has got I- ions, iodide ions, and they make the hydrophobic substance soluble, that is subject to sonification and agitation and centrifugation, and that is how we get the pellets, and that is optically examined, and it's a cyclic process, and that is how we come to know that microplastic is there. And this is the rapid method which was discovered by Rock and Brinker in 2017. Here, instead of KOH, there is NOH, and we digest it for 15 minutes, and then after that we add HNO3, and 30 minutes it is agitated, then diluted with water. And because vacuum filtration is there, even the filtration will not take much time, and that is how we get the filter K. So there is complete evidence that there are microplastic inside the body of the organisms. These were the 3 R's which we were practicing, and we have shown it: recycle, reduce, reuse it. But now we have to switch over to 7 R's, and that start with the rethinking, because whatever actions man is taking, that depends on one's thoughts, because everything begins with the thought. If we have the positive thoughts, if we know that we have to conserve the environment, we have to keep it green and clean, then our thoughts should be positive, then only they will be converted into the action. And the others, reuse, refuse, rot, reuse, repurpose, and recycle. And that is how we can make the planet green and clean, and our progeny, we can hand over the planet which is necessary for their survival. Now we have to decide. We started with plastic is a wonderful gift. Now, after knowing all this, we have to decide whether it is a wonderful gift or a threat and how it is to be utilized. Everything depends on the man's action. That has been very well said by a scientist. Whatever befalls the sons of the earth. The earth does not belong to the man. Man belongs to this earth. Man belongs to the earth. Whatever he does to his web, he does to himself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear ma'am. Thank you very much for your thoughtful and a wonderful presentation, ma'am. Actually, it's so full of knowledge. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Share the crystals and pearls of the wisdom, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear ma'am, I am giving you a spotlight. So please, yes. Okay, now you have stopped the sharing. I am giving you a spotlight, ma'am. Just hold on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please do this, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, your hands are not visible, so you have to put your hands some upper. Yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So much.
Dear, yeah, dear Laura, actually, I would like to request again for doing the same gesture. Laura, I am giving you again a spotlight. Yes. Dear Laura, dear Laura, could you listen me? I think okay. Yes. Laura is busy. Laura is busy with his house course. So, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, please proceed with the further.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Chiranjit Kaur, ma'am. That was very informative presentation. So moving ahead with the program now, would like to call Dr. Jaswinder Mehta, Head of the Department, Botany and Green Cluster Cell, Career College, Bhopal. Dr. Jaswinder Mehta. Is Dr. Jaswinder with us?
Ma'am, yes, Daswinder Mehta, ma'am, is with us. I would like to request technical team, please make co-host India. India, there's a name India / Dr. Jaswinder Mehta. I would like to request again. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the prompt support from the technical team. Please, Dr. Jaswinder Mehta, now the stage is yours, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all dignitaries and participants present in this international summit organized by Witty Gossip and Research Foundation of India. Am I audible, Gunjan ma'am? Supriya ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm going to share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you have just started the screen sharing. Yes, please make the slideshow, ma'am.
Is it visible?
Yes, perfectly, ma'am. Perfectly. Please go ahead.
So my topic of presentation is sustainable consumption and production. Sustainable consumption and production is identified as one of the essential requirements for sustainable development. And due to different economic conditions and socio-cultural factors, sustainable consumption and production requires a diverse focus in developing and developed economies. To date, few efforts have been made to systematically compare the status of sustainable consumption and production and its direction from the perspective of developing and developed economies. Today's theme is very important. It provides review of sustainable consumption and production, forming the basis for conducting a comprehensive comparative analysis of the differences and challenges in sustainable consumption and production practices within developed and developing economies. It is strongly suggested that many countries hold international leadership in sustainable consumption and production practices. This finding, alongside others, is analyzed and discussed in greater detail in this summit, resulting in the articulation of gaps and future research opportunities in the current body of the literature. One of the greatest global challenges is to integrate environmental sustainability with economic growth and welfare by decoupling environmental degradation from economic growth and doing more with less. Resource decoupling and impact decoupling are needed to promote sustainable consumption and production patterns and to make the transition towards a greener and more socially inclusive global economy. To ensure sustainable consumption and production practices necessarily entails to respect the biophysical boundaries of the planet and to reduce current global consumption rates to fit with the biophysical capacity to produce ecosystem services and benefits. A circular economy is one of the current sustainable economic models in which products and materials are designed in such a way that they can be reused, remanufactured, recycled, or recovered, and thus maintained in the economy for as long as possible, along with the resources of which they are made, and the generation of waste, especially hazardous waste, is avoided or minimized, and greenhouse gas emissions are prevented or reduced. Implementation of SEP and circular economy are fully aligned. Currently, India is developing an SDG 12 hub, which will provide visualization and coordination across SDG 12. This links to One Planet initiative for sustainable consumption and production. The One Planet initiative and the SDGs are fully aligned in terms of monitoring approach. Additionally, the newly developed SCP hotspot and analysis tools, SCP HAT, is an online application with data on the environmental and socio-economic performance of 171 countries over the last 25 years. It allows countries to quickly identify and analyze hotspots at country and sector level and provides key country information in the context of most relevant policy questions. Sustainable growth and development requires minimizing the natural resources and toxic materials used, the waste and pollutants generated throughout the entire production and consumption process. Sustainable development goal encourages more sustainable consumption and production patterns through various measures, including specific policies and international agreements on the management of materials that are toxic to the environment. Challenges, research gaps, and further research directions on sustainable consumption and production. Several research gaps in the area of SCP are identified, like there are very few research works analyzing the mismatch between the demand and supply of sustainable products in the market with the increasing environmental awareness of consumers. Despite the growing prominence of emerging nations, research in the context of emerging markets in the area of SCP is very limited. Researchers on SCP do not seem to embrace mixed methodology. Most of researchers mainly focus on policy reviews or factors behind customer buying patterns or on the use of cleaner energy. There is a further pressing need to explore the soft dimensions and psychological factors behind the acceptance level of policies and sustainable lifestyles. Sustainable consumption is the use of material products, energy, and immaterial services in such a way that their use minimizes impacts on the environment, so that human needs can be met not only in the present but also for future generations. Consumption consumption refers not only to individuals and households, but also to governments, business, and other institutions. Sustainable consumption is closely related to sustainable production and sustainable lifestyles. A sustainable lifestyle minimizes ecological impacts while enabling a flourishing life for individuals, households, communities, and beyond. It is a product of individual and collective decisions about aspirations and about satisfying needs and adopting practices, which are in turn conditioned, facilitated, and constrained by societal norms, political institutions, public policies, infrastructure, markets, and culture. The India includes analysis of efficiency, infrastructure, and waste, as well as access to basic services, green and decent jobs, and a better quality of life for all within the concept of sustainable consumption. Sustainable consumption shares a number of common features and is closely linked to sustainable production and sustainable development. Sustainable consumption as part of sustainable development is part of the worldwide struggle against sustainability change challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, famines, and environmental pollution. Sustainable development as well as sustainable consumption rely on certain premises such as effective use of resources and minimization of waste and pollution, use of renewable resources within their capacity for renewal. We are currently consuming more resources than ever, exceeding the planet's capacity for generation. In the meantime, waste and pollution grows and the gap between rich and poor is widening. Health, education, equity, and empowerment are all adversely affected. Crucially, SCP can contribute substantially to poverty alleviation and the transition towards low carbon and green economies. To do this, SCP requires building cooperation among many different stakeholders as well as across sectors in all countries. SCP is a holistic approach and is about systemic change. It is built around three main objectives like decoupling environmental degradation from economic growth. This is about doing more and better with less, increasing net welfare gains from economic activities by reducing resource use, degradation, and pollution along the whole life cycle while increasing quality of life. More is delivered in terms of goods and services with less impact in terms of resource use, environmental degradation, waste, and pollution. These are glimpses of some best practices which we have adopted in our Career College Bhopal. We do plantation activities in and outside our campus. We do plantation with Capital Project Administration, Government of India. We maintain checking of pollution level in vehicles. We have taken resolution of distributing and producing 1 million seed balls. And already we have distributed many seed balls, and we are receiving from last few years many awards from Bhopal Municipal Corporation, Government of India, and I'm proud to share this. We are celebrating every year World Earth Day, World Environmental Day, etc., and organizing competitions, conferences, international webinars, and many, many, many. It is clear that there is no sustainable consumption without sustainable production and vice versa. Lastly, I would like to say that sustainable consumption and production are role for all. Sustainable consumption and production is a common responsibility of government, industry, consumers, mass media, etc. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. I feel obliged and thankful to Witty Gossip Research Foundation of India for organizing such a wonderful international summit and giving me opportunity to share my views on this current topic. Thank you very much. And I'm also thankful to wonderful, graceful moderators, Dr. Supriya and Dr. Gunjan. Thank you very much.
Sorry, thank you very much, dear ma'am, for participating in this Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit on day 12, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, I am giving you a spotlight. Just hold on. Yes. Now please do this, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. And I would like to say congratulate, ma'am, for your institute. Because yes, as you said that you got the award from the municipal corporation.
Yes.
For the working on a sustainable development. So, ma'am, please accept our heartiest congratulations, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, please proceed with the next speaker. Yes, okay. I think Dr. Gunjan Shukla is busy with her work now. So here I would like to request Ganeshan sir from the top engineers. So Ganeshan sir, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Sir, please switch on your camera, sir, if possible.
Yes, madam. Actually, I have my camera with my.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, sir. So, sir, now the stage is yours, sir. Please share your views, sir.
Yes, madam. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope my
Okay.
screen is visible.
Yes, sir. The screen has started sharing, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So good morning, everyone, one and all present here. Global Peace and Sustainable Summit 2022. 12th topic, responsible consumption and production. I would like to thank Dr. Gunjan Shukla and Dr. Supriya and the whole Witty Gossips team for this wonderful organization and presentation opportunity produced for me. I'm Ganesh Bharati Ravikrishnan from Top Engineers, Salem, Tamil Nadu. So, responsible consumption and production. So, consumption and production should be responsible. So, why it should be responsible in the sense we have to save our world, we have to save our planet. So, also with all the flora, fauna, and human lives over the planet. So, we have to be responsible not to damage anything on the planet. So we have to be responsible in consuming the planet's resources and also producing whatever the resources for the benefit of flora, fauna, and human resources. So forest is one of the major part of our planet, and the major negative part from the forest is deforestation. And the reasons behind the deforestation, or we are using the resources of forest for source of wood, and we are we are increasing the urbanization, we are destroying the forest for domestic fuel, we are destroying the forest for charcoal, then poverty, wildfire, leather pollution, and food. So there are many reasons for the deforestation. So what are the effects of deforestation in the sense reduction of increasing of pollution, reduction of oxygen, increasing of carbon dioxide, because plants could recycle the carbon dioxide and give us the oxygen, and the deforestation is reducing those kind of processes actually. You can also see the loss of habitat, increasing the greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, NOx, sulfur SOx. So these are many greenhouse gases that are affecting our ozone layer, actually increasing the atmospheric temperature. So reduced atmospheric water, soil erosion, flooding, wildlife extinction, acidic oceans, etc. are the consequences of deforestation. You can see from this picture, 31% of Earth's surface is covered by forest. The icons of trees are all the forest areas that are present the current situation according to 2020. So 20 million acres of forest were lost between 1990 and 2020, between 30 years. So 2,400 trees are cut down each minute. So deforestation is increasing because the reason is increasing of population. So increasing of population in terms of human beings and also in terms of vehicles. So vehicles for the transportation. So road transportation is also being increased, and that is also a reason behind the deforestation. So when the deforestation is occurring, so we can increase or we can find a way for reducing the use of wood, or we can find another alternative solution for the use of wood. So a researcher created wood from kombucha. So kombucha, what is kombucha is, it is, you can see kombucha is a mushroom, tea mushroom. So from that tea mushroom, people, that is he created, see, sorry. So Gabe Taxas, he created wood from kombucha. So he is a researcher and he created wood from kombucha. He created wood for the decoration purposes also, and also to satisfy the household needs. So these kind of researchers are to be welcome. So he used the grown tea and utilized bacteria and yeast to react with that, and he created living materials for creating the wood alternatives. So light detection, chemical sensing, and pollutant removal are the process for creating this kind of wood. So this is a very good initiative and very good research that is coming from the humans, coming from people all around the world. So you can see the ocean coral reefs. So coral reefs, these are very beautiful views. We can see that with the fishes, with all the plantations inside the ocean, the coral reefs. So you can also see from the slide, coral reefs cover the 0.0025% of the ocean floor. So for your information, half of the Earth, that is planet's oxygen, is produced from the coral reefs. So which covers only 0.0025% of the planet. So, but because of these kind of pollutions, we are polluting, we are dumping the waste. What all the waste, e-waste, medi-waste, what all the human wastes are available, industrial waste including, we are dumping into the ocean. We don't know what are the consequences. Many people don't know what are the consequences coming from the polluting the ocean. So you can see the second picture, that is oil spilling. So oil spill over the ocean. So what happens when the oil spill over the ocean happens is, so the living beings under the oil does not, cannot live, cannot survive. Actually, cannot survive on the petroleum products and the oil that is transported with the means of ocean, pollute the ocean, and they affect the life of the ocean, including the fishes and the plants that is present inside the ocean. So you can, there is a researcher who came up with a solution. See, you can see the hairs. So an organization in France. So what he does is an NGO, actually non-government organization. What it does is it gathers hairs from saloons, because hairs can absorb more amount of oil. So as we Indians, we all know, as hairs could consume, that is hairs could absorb more amount of oil from the hair, that is from our head actually. So the hair is then used up for oil, used for cleaning the oil spills. So as you can see, a man is cleaning the oil spill, and he is individually, and humans are involved in cleaning the oil spills. So this coiffeur from France, he initiated and came up with a solution to clean the oil spill in the ocean. So this is not the only solution, but this is a major part and the good initiative among the researchers around the world. So to clean the oil spills. So because of these oil spills, many birds and many small organisms and animals are affected, and they are even killed near the seashores. So increasing planet's temperature. So increasing planet's temperature the rising temperature has effects on water levels, increasing water levels, food supply, because food supply, in the sense, many plants and plantations are grown in certain amount of seasons. So those seasons are affected, and seasonal changes are affected because of the rise in temperature. So also human health is also affected. The environment, as we all know, environment is affected. You can also see the wildfire in the picture, the melting of glaciers, the increasing of sea levels, or all the effects of temperatures. So which can be reduced while we cool the temperature, while we take initiatives to cool the temperature. I mean, to cool the planet and reduce the temperature. So infrastructures. So infrastructures are the kind of buildings, bridges, and the construction all over the planet. So increasing temperature could also weaken them. So we can take measures to reduce the temperature also. So you can see next, the plastic waste. So everything, what are the topics are there? They are all interlinked with the global health only. So you can see the graph that is presented. You can see the black line, that is primary waste generated. So primary plastic that are generated in the day by day. And you can see that 25,000 metric tons of plastics are generated. So in the year, so in the upcoming progressive year, and you can see the blue line that are recycled plastics. So the plastics are being recycled. So there is a major and a very huge gap between the generated plastics and the recycled plastics. So you can see a whale that is died of consuming the plastic in the second image. So we can take a measure using even a plastic pen is also creates plastic waste. So you can use metallic usages or all. So small initiatives by our humans and peoples can be a great major part in reduction of plastic waste. So plastic fuels, those kind of plastic fuels are being recycled and made into fuels. As we all know, some we can hear from some resources are such as plastic fuels are generated, and those fuels are utilized in diesel engines. But in Swansea University from Wales, United Kingdom, so they are producing a fuel which can power hydrogen cars. Okay, hydrogen cars. So that initiative is a very good initiative, as hydrogen cars, they produce very minimal amount of pollutions. So apart from burning of fuels, burning of whatever the kind of fuels, the biofuels or the fossil fuels, we can initiate and create an alternative solution. Okay. So let us join hands to develop global peace and sustainable development. So these are a very limited amount of researches that is being carried on all over the world, and there are a lot many researchers. So let us contribute small contributions, and it becomes a big contribution for the world to minimize the plastic waste or whatever, the minimizing the global temperature and increasing the global health among the people, and have the better and healthy future generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ganeshan sir. Actually, means in your presentation, you put examples of each and everyone, the researchers who are involving for the sustainable development, consumption, and production. So, thank you very much, sir. And last, actually, you quoted that let's join hands. Yes, sir.
Yes,
So, actually, yes. So, actually, sir, we believe, the team Vitigossip believe that joining hands is the need of hour to combat all the related issues.
thank you.
Yes, to achieve the goal of global empowerment. So, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you. Sir, I wish if your laptop or if your computer or desktop has a camera so that I can capture you, sir.
Actually, I am sharing my screen from my mobile phone. That is Ganesh Bharathi's
Okay.
iPhone. There is yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So, okay, Ganeshan Bharti's iPhone. So, I would like to request technical team, please make the other ID of Ganesh sir co-host. I am requesting technical team, please make co-host Ganesh Bharti's iPhone co-host. So, wait a minute. Our
Yes, ma'am.
technical, yes, now you are a co-host. Yes, sir. So, sir, thank you very much, sir.
Thank
And
you very much.
Vitigossip Association is very fortunate enough, sir, to collaborate, to associate with the top engineers team, sir. Thank you
Thank
very much,
you.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Please do this, sir. Please do this.
Thank you.
Amazing, sir. Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And here I would like to also give my gratitude, my sincere gratitude to the Prabhakar, sir, the associate professor from the Volo University and one of the global convener who actually associated the top engineers with the team of Vitigossip Association for the Sustainable Development Goal 12. So thank you very much, Ganesh sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank
now,
you.
Tiana Jonas, the whole stage is your, dear. I would like to
Hi,
request technical. Yes, Tiana. Okay, so the whole stage is yours, dear. Please proceed.
thank you. Responsible consumption and production is a must need to respect humanity and God. We all love to use beauty products. Great news. It's technology now in the 21st century gives us the chance to working these ways of helping animals have non-cruelty. Now we can do things like make makeup, make shoes, clothing, and have foods that have major consumptions that are needed for survival for humanity. Amazing though that the containers that we can use can be recycled into products, and the items can be itemized into consumption later to be used over and over again. More needed products for containers and natural resources are created. Our goals are to be responsible when we're buying things at the grocery store. Only what is needed and more than what is wanted to create less garbage and food waste. In the United States, no one has to go hungry. Many organizations are farming, donating, and hosting food banks given out by God through churches and government programs. The goal is to recycle and correctly recycle food that can be turned into biodegradable compounds and reduced to unwanted gases and pollution spills. Showing products responsibly made of non-animal cruelty. This shows humanity's respect of natural formalities of resources made from God. Showing foods, crops, animals, and consumptions of products will help recycle the positive energy into all existences, propelling positive recycled energy of soil and sunlight's energy to produce better health.
Dear Tiana, you have mistakenly muted. Yeah. Yeah,
Can
please
you hear
tell.
me now?
Yes, yes, dear, yes.
Okay. This shows humanity's respect of natural formalities of resources made from God. Showing foods, crops, animals, and consumptions of products will help recycle the positive energy into all existences, propelling positive recycled energy into the soil from the sunlight in the energy to produce better health. This is for the earth to consume better living and better products of the environment. This can help the world heal from any negative energy and consume a greater power produced by God. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for joining us. Would you like to do this, dear? Amazing, amazing. Thank you, dear. And actually, I salute your all enthusiasm because as you are means more interested to motivate young minds, to inspire the educate for the education of young minds related to the sustainable development. So I salute your all enthusiasm, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So here we have Go Listenouty. So dear Go, would you like to say something? I am again requesting technical team. Please make co-host Go. Geo Go. I would like to again requesting technical team. Please make co-host Geo Go. Yes, you are a co-host, dear. So dear Go, would you like to say something? Actually, we cannot hear you. I think because of mask. Uh, dear, you are not audible, dear. You are not audible. No, dear. Okay, I think there is some problem with your headphones, dear.
Now can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes,
Hello?
yes.
Okay,
Now you
okay.
are audible, dear.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Then there is a problem with the devices. Yeah, actually, ma'am, thank you for the opportunity. I will deliver my speech on day 16, actually, about peace, justice, and strong institution. But I would like to share also maybe how the Indonesian way in achieving the SDGs 12, actually. Yeah, Indonesia actually have a commitment also in realizing the SDGs 12. We can have systematically in all sector, in government, business, and also society. And the commitment has actually shows that Indonesia is willing to implement also the UN agenda for the human and earth welfare. This goal 12 is actually requested all parties in Indonesia also to encourage themselves to consciously consider how we use the natural resources and also the energy management, and also considering the continuity of using the goods and services in every aspect. Uh, we are trying to reduce the use of plastic right now, and also in my province, we are usually Indonesia has a several time people when we are maybe we are going to market and to do shopping, we have to use the reusable bag. But it is not easy for us, and it's rather us to pay with some Indonesian rupiah and still get the plastic rather than we carry our own reusable bag. So since this April 9, in my district area in the local government of East Java, our local government has already mentioned that we are the society should not get any plastic anymore when we are conducting our what is we call as a shopping in the market, and it is not allowed for the shopper also to give the plastic. So we still try to educate the people also, because regarding, if I may share the Indonesian roadmap in the SDGs 12, we can see that in 2000 and in the decade right now, there are 74.6 million ton of the production of waste in 2030 that we have to achieve, because Indonesia has been estimated we are resulting waste until 190,000 ton per day, and it is dominated by the organic waste. So, and also the problem that has been identified, this one, the infrastructure and also the technology of management, the waste management, it is not aligned with the urban development in Indonesia. This problem has been worse by we don't have the what is called, we are not aware how to handle the management of waste also in the in everything, I mean. So it can be a problem for Indonesia. So through the roadmap of Indonesia in 2030, we are trying right now to handle by conducting several issues, something like optimize the reuse, reduce, and also recycle in using plastic. Any what is awareness for the society also to reduce the plastic. So maybe it is only the share of my opinion how our Indonesian government is trying also to to realize the goal of SDGs, and because in the end actually by the goal 12, SDGs goal 12, we can create the environment and the quality of life of Indonesian people and also the world where we are living right now. So that the short opinion from me, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much for joining us. I am giving you a spotlight. Just wait a minute. Yeah. Actually, dear, your network bandwidth is low.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, yes. Yes, please do this, dear. Please do this. Thank you. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
joining us. And as you said that you will speak on day 16, peace and justice. So yes, we are waiting for your turn, dear. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So here we have done with the all speakers. Again, I am requesting to the Tiana Jonas. Tiana, actually, in your I am giving you a spotlight again. So, Tiana, there is a problem with your screenshot. Please do this again. Yes, now this is perfect. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much for joining. Here in the Vote of Thanks series, I would like to thanks each and everyone who took the part to make this successful our day 12 event, sustainable production and the consumption. Here, I would like to thank the career group of institution, one of our knowledge associates. And here I would like to also thank the top engineers for becoming our knowledge associate on the day 12, Sustainable Development Goal 12. So thank you each and everyone. Thank you Dr. Jaswinder Mehta ma'am. Thank you Charanjit Kaur ma'am. Thank you Vice Chairperson sir for the career group of institutions. Thank you Tiana Jonas for joining us. Thank you Laura for your wonderful presentation. Thank you Christiana. Actually, each and every day, Christiana makes the notes for each and every presentation. So, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you, Ganesh sir. Actually, Ganesh sir put lots of research related to the responsible consumption and the production in his presentation. So, thank you very much, Ganesh sir. Thank you, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, ma'am, for your wonderful coordination, for your wonderful association with the career group of institutions. Thank you very much, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, ma'am. And thank you all the team members of the technical team. We have the technical team from the Expressions Private Solutions and the Expression English. So thank you all the team members of the Expressions like Shubham sir, like Deven sir, like Ritu Chabra ma'am, and also I would like to also thank Suman sir. He is the co-founder of the Expression English for providing us a prompt services related to the Zoom platform. So thank you very much technical team for the prompt services. Thank you very much. And here I would like to also thank all the students of the Expression English who are means very much sincere about this conference. So thank you very much all. So now it's the time to say goodbye. Tomorrow we will again meet with the next goal, goal 13, climate action. And here is an important announcement that tomorrow a great personality will join us. Actually, I'm not uh, here. I'm not taking her name because she is a very great personality, and tomorrow we will definitely meet that great personality who actually devoted her life to the sustainable development. So thank you each and everyone for joining us, for making this event a grand success. Thank you very much. Thank you all the students. So I would like to request technical team, please end this meeting, and tomorrow we will meet again. Thank you.